You've died before. You just don't remember. Old versions of you are gone. And at that time, they felt real, but they weren't. You've been dissolving this whole time, and somehow, you're still here. Right now, even as you listen, something is vanishing. A breath, a thought, a memory you'll never get back. And that's not a tragedy, that's life. That's what makes it real. Even your idea of who you are isn't solid. You think it is, until it isn't. You've already outlived so many versions of yourself, and at that time, each one felt like the real one, the true one, the final one. But they all dissolved, some gently, some with grief, some so slowly, you didn't even notice the letting go. And now, here you are, calling this version me, for now. But who you are is not fixed. It's a process, a movement, a swirl of sensation, memory, and thought. That's not depressing. That's freedom. Because if you're not a fixed thing, then you don't have to protect a fixed self. Non-attachment is not numbness. It's not pushing things away. It's letting them move through you without grabbing hold of them. You can still love, still grieve, still care, but you don't build your identity out of it. You don't hold joy hostage. You don't ask sorrow to stay. It sounds subtle, but this changes everything, because now love can breathe. Now loss can soften. And now beauty doesn't have to be owned to be real. Letting go doesn't mean you didn't care. It means you cared enough not to cage it. You loved it enough to let it move, evolve, to let it change, to let it leave if it has to. That kind of love does not chase. It doesn't grip. It sits by the door, open, quiet, whole, and trusts what's real will stay. Or not. And even then, it doesn't close, because love in its highest form is not possession. It's presence. You don't have to pick the flower to appreciate it blooming. You can love it more for being alive than for it to be your own. You don't need to hold it forever to feel it fully. Now is much better. And maybe that's what non-attachment really is, not turning away, but turning toward without needing to control it, without fearing loss, but accepting it fully. This doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop gripping. You stop trying to make something stay. That was never meant to be permanent. Even joy will move, even peace will fade, but that doesn't make them any less beautiful. In fact, their impermanence is what makes them sacred. You're not meant to build a home out of passing things. Just honor them and let them keep moving. The moment you try to own the moment, you'll miss it. But if you can let it pass through you like wind through the trees, you become the witness, the space that holds everything but clings to nothing. That's true freedom. Not the absence of emotion, but the absence of grasping. The middle way. This path is about feeling everything and yet letting it all pass. You can care without clinging. You can rest without retreating. You can move through life with open hands and trusting that's what's real. It doesn't need to be forced. Balance is not passive. It's a steady return again and again to what's here, to what's enough, to what stays only because you're not holding it too tight. That's the middle way. Not somewhere you arrive, but the way you walk. You don't have to be all in or all out. You can show up fully without needing to control the outcome. You can care deeply and still release what's not yours to carry. You can hold someone's hand and still know you'll need to let go one day. That isn't weakness, it's maturity. That's presence. The middle way honors both the rise and the fall. It lets you celebrate beginnings without fearing endings. It teaches you to stay steady, not because things don't change, but because you've stopped demanding that they don't. See, we should stop living for a future that we just can't control, and instead start living for this moment, because it's the only one that's real. You don't avoid the extremes by force. Just let them visit, and then return to your center. That return is the practice. That's the walk. That's the freedom. You don't need to figure out anything right now. You don't need to fix or force or become, but instead try this right now. Pause. Close your eyes and ask yourself, what's here? What's alive in you right now? A thought? A feeling, an emotion, a memory, a desire, a fear, a fantasy, whatever it is, sit with it. Just let it be. Don't change it. Don't get rid of it, but just fully be with it without any resistance. That's all. Stay, watch, and breathe. And then you will notice something. It moves, it softens, and it leaves. Not because you pushed it away. It softened because you didn't resist and you were willing to let it go, so it let go of you. That's impermanence. It's not an idea, but an experience, and it's happening right now. And if that thought or that memory or that feeling comes back, that's okay too. Sit with it again. Let it rise, let it speak, and then naturally, you will let it go. You have to allow it first. You don't need to win against your feelings. You just need to be with them, kindly. Sometimes they just want to be felt, not fixed, not healed, just held. And when they feel seen, they loosen. The more you practice this, the less afraid you'll become, because you'll realize there's nothing inside you that you cannot meet. Nothing will last forever, not even fear. This is your power, not control, but surrender. Not strength in the way the world defines it, but instead strength in your willingness to stay with this discomfort, this feeling, this emotion. The tide comes in and the tide goes out. You don't need to stop it. You just need to know how to breathe with it. Impermanence doesn't make life any less meaningful. It makes every breath a miracle, every goodbye a sacred act. Not because it lasted, but because you loved it while it did.